Sammy George say LGBTQ now more tata John Mahama more tata NDC for LGBTQ knows no NPP or knows no NDC.
All the signatories who have come on board now from the NPP, they are welcome. This is a collective fight. LGBTQ does not know NDC, NPP, CPP. He only knows the innocence of our children. Let's not play politics with this. Let us fight this fight as a Ghanaian people. Thank you.
Sam George no be mo san say ono ye ba be vet no say o ba be minister no o promise ye say obesan amomo the LGBTQ bill no asan back to parliament na eno ana waye no ntina fom di obetinya ya no e na waye no.
In 2021, when I introduced the bill, it took me 2.5 years to pass it through Parliament. I introduced the bill in September 2021. It only got passed in February 2024.
I was to subscribe button so for bell notification to on. Now if you want to through the stories. Welcome back to AfriPost TV as usual. Some first slide and I can say we are back. Yeah, back we are now. You know what's about to go down. Only I have information. No media no so. Na about the update too. What I say be also ube huni ya echo internet no so. And now kasa san informations day. What I say because and now kasa informations day. And into stay with us now if you want to do story now kasa. Now only say Sam George MP for Ngo Pram and then Minister for Communications. Sa LGBTQ we na trend organ no open one person one ma NPP for o masum antimi anjo mo ba ko pekora ewo LGBTQ ho a Sam George Sam George one ma NPP for mo chire wo ewo LGBTQ we ho after ansem o ka chire Ghana fo nyina efa LGBTQ ho no ene wasen ba e kan nsem mu a different okay can nsem mu a different o kai say ono na be ka chire Ghana fo say NPP for na nsan bill ne dia meaning say Adudi no oye member of the LGBTQ community and I say o support LGBTQ na nkasa ono na san ka kire yen say ye to aba no Mahama na Mahama ba be president na wan sign LGBTQ bill na ono Mahama no he's going to know no peace from ono Sam George no what is it but I know can say different Sam George say ono Ghana right now no mo de LGBTQ bill no tata no what is it na anu ye kura no Honorable in team for Joe, okay, press conference. Honorable in team for Joe, okay, press conference. And all calling on to the clergy, all calling on to the traditional leaders, all calling on to a soft for a organ Hanumina say, Omunina, Rano, Mebaki, no, Phil Mahama, and sign this LGBTQ bill, no. I say, Sam George say 2 nights ago, on one casa our friend in team for Joe, on a casa. Now I born a basu hipa because NPP pensioner. He was the only person who signing sa bill no. Back then he was the deputy minister. No pay any signing sa bill no. Now I born a basu hipa. But now one thing we should know is say LGBTQ bill now made tata NDC for no. LGBTQ doesn't know NPP or doesn't know NDC. All the LGBTQ knows no is the innocence of our children. What I say, unim so NDC, unim so NPP ni. Adia unimane say unim obano, unim so obani innocent. Into obabe say obano ne dachi. What I say, inti munjai say omade LGBTQ no politics time. I was doing things about kai.
Like I've said, I won't be drawn into the debate of politicization. Honorable Intim Fojo signed the bill. He was the only NPP member of parliament who signed the bill under President Akufo-Addo. At the time, he was deputy minister, and I have credited him every single step of the way for being bold. However, when the bill was placed before President Mahama and President Nana-Addo in February, he didn't call on President Nana-Addo to sign. And I understood the challenge and the difficulty he had. He should not bring us into politics. And I had a conversation with him 2 nights ago, and we've agreed. There needs to be a dial down in the politicization. I said to him, I listened to his press conference, and I asked him, you said President Mahama should sign the bill. You are a sponsor with me of this current bill. You know that the bill is before the committee. So when you do a press conference and say President Mahama should sign, what should he sign? There is no need for us to politicize this matter. And so, not just to my brother and team Fojo, but to all the signatories who have come on board now from the NPP, they are welcome. This is a collective fight. LGBTQ does not know NDC, NPP, CPP. He only knows the innocence of our children. Let's not play politics with this. Let us fight this fight as a Ghanaian people. Thank you.
Oh, and Oba Catcher say the LGBTQ politics, Sam George. Adena, left, sir. Sam George, woman now catch and say the LGBTQ air politics. Find the LGBTQ air politics because we're Ghana and I'm seeing Sam George. Time our opposition now power. And seven one country Akufado. And seven one country NPP party because of this particular LGBTQ bill. And then the Oba catch there and say LGBTQ in NPP in NDC in TNJ say the politics. We didn't say NPP in NDC and now the campaign back then. And at that time no unyam fa knowledge no ehun say LGBTQ no yam fa nya politics. African leaders ankasa nyina mo ka ho bi na magana yeda so wo afuom no Africa mo ka ho bi na Africa yeda so wo afuom no because mo se boy mo ndi so mo se boy ene ochine ma mo power na am can different things am ye different things. Sam George signed to us to say you could say Sam George say adena say there what changing the stance e wo LGBTQ no ho na because who opposition what fight for LGBTQ na Sam George say oh no, we are changing the stance via LGBTQ. On the stance via.
One thing to add to this, LGBTQ has been a big deal in Ghana for some time. I've not seen you speak on it. Why have you changed your position on LGBT?
I have not changed my position on LGBTQ. And let's be very clear. I've been very quiet for obvious reasons. I mean, there's been a lot of misinformation that's been put out there, but let's call a spade a spade. President Mahama, when he won power, met with the Catholic Bishops' Conference, if you remember, in January, and indicated that he thought that the bill should be introduced as a government bill. A week after that, he appointed me as Minister for Communication. 2 weeks after I went for my vetting. At my vetting, I indicated that I would reintroduce the bill as a private member's bill. So when people say that I have changed my position, I've actually stuck to my word. I said I was going to reintroduce the bill, and I did. I reintroduced the bill in August last year in Parliament with a number of my colleagues. The Parliament of Ghana is going through the process. In 2 weeks, the Committee on Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs is going to be meeting on the bill. A 2-day meeting on the bill. So there is work going on. I hear people who say, you promise that President Mahama will know no peace if he doesn't sign the bill. Yes. If President Mahama gets the bill and he doesn't and chooses not to sign it, we will agitate like we did that in the past. Because as far as I'm concerned, Ghanaian family values are not political. Those who want to do politics with it is unfortunate. But as we speak today, there is no bill before President Mahama to sign. So what am I agitating or asking President Mahama to sign? Until we finish the process, and let me remind people, in 2021 when I introduced the bill, it took me 2.5 years to pass it through Parliament. I introduced the bill in September 2021. It only got passed in February 2024. Between 2021 September and February 2024, I never asked President Akufo-Addo to sign anything. In fact, for those who will remember, my fights were with the chairman of the committee at the time, Honorable Ayimedu, that he wasn't acting expeditiously in the committee. When the bill got passed by Parliament and it got to President Akufo-Addo and he decided not to accept the bill, that is when I took President Akufo-Addo on and said he should sign the bill. When the case went to court, I didn't take President Akufo-Addo on. I took Chief Justice Tokono on and led the first demonstration against a Chief Justice in this country, against Chief Justice Tokono. That demonstration, LGBTQ demonstration, was not against President Akufo-Addo. So today, if there is any agitation to be had, it is for Parliament to expedite the process and take the bill and pass it. But so long as the bill has not been passed, there is nothing that is sitting for President Mahama to sign. I am confident and I remain reassured in the words of President Mahama that when Parliament passes the bill, which we are working on, we will put it before him and he will sign it. For those who say that Sam George has changed his position, I introduced that bill as an MP when I wasn't a minister. If being a minister was supposed to silence me, I would not have been the lead sponsor of the bill again in Parliament. I have re-sponsored the bill. I will not trade my position on the innocence of Ghanaian children and my children and our Ghanaian family values for any political position. My views on LGBTQ remain the same. It's a serious aberration of the mind, and we will fight it with everything that we hold dear. To those who want to politicize this, sorry, we won't take the bait. We will not play politics with this. The innocence of our children is not political. Thank you.
Sam George, unti can't say we promise our for fail. Debbie. Who can't say and say I could find a person sign bill because LGBTQ member or supporting movement. And then the old bad country and say a process. Now, Unims are for the modern Unims are for the maternity process. Now, we didn't say a process, and I'll bet now I can't help edit Ghana for simply because you will election year Ghana for your short memory, or can't send me a train, a bed die any at 12 the amount. Yet tomorrow we are there over the country and say a process. Sam George, is that how you are? Is that how you are? Now, some George Barry posted on the Facebook, and I feel some posted on the Twitter. And I watch elections, and we say, when we say you're dragging with internet, and so when we say you're posting old videos. No, he's keeping his head high. Because I don't know any no. Why Eddie power, Eddie money party. Some don't make us say with you, or say why yes, I money na Eddie power, Eddie money party. Oh, yeah, no, sign to us you desire say. Yeah, now yeah, dragging with internet to me now. You say I must say, what pa, and then yet in your TV, Eddie and I may make a comment here say. Now, more than we leaders, more than we leaders, how are we going to achieve something better under you guys? Mokasem ene or China much master samano, Mokasem ene or China master samano. Into how are we going to gain something better? You basically the answer can be a papa, and you the corrupt leaders, and you the contompo, and you the local leaders. They will say you want to say videos on sa, who's a difference. A Jaiwan so who's a difference. Saying as I say, you know, any pan can Sam George. Who opposition who campaign messages a different, who appealing for votes a different. Yet to Emma power we and also the Okasa asking about be different, Waseda asking about be different. Sam George. I was joining Sam George on Pekasa Yipan. Sometimes on Zokasa, Yakasa Hunt. Nyankasa personally, I don't know why I appointed this particular man as the Minister of Communications. Communication, they say we will be anka. Who communicate here? We are born in some amount. Who communicate here? Nka etu yapa. But some George Babe communicate here in some some George Babe communicate here. And some Kaboni. Sam George, why? Chabu's information some Jordan so they are better concerning the LGBTQ bill no or so no can say obviously we introduce bill no now why na for mu de nti bill no under process o mu so o process bill no say be ya o me be ba be duru mahama anim na say bill no ba be duru mahama anim wi na mahama nsan a e ho no mum na mahama will never know peace from ono Sam Jordan Chabu's ye de ye o manim so man san ne bill na ye ne o mu Ghana ha o mu san ne so a ye ne o mu Ghana ha. You say do best way ya what I say. Still hit the subscribe button and offer bell notification to on. Say be ya update like this biano. On sabit miaka. Na fi we hu ya e koso e wo mo camp properly.